Otieno, can you hear me? Hello, hello. Yes, Brian, can you hear me? Hello, hello. Check your mic. Check your mic. Hello, hello, Otieno. Can you hear me? Kindly respond. Hello. Oh, okay, fine. Thank you. Let's give ourselves some 2-3 minutes for the other members to uh, log into the class so that we can start. Kindly. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome, Isaac. We are waiting for the quorum. We are going to continue in a moment. Let's wait for the others, your colleagues to come in. Welcome, Besiche. We are still waiting for the quorum. Let's see whether we can two more people can come. If we can be 5, that will be good and well. We can proceed. Welcome, Shwan. Thank you, Brian. I think you're doing good work. Welcome, Kevin. I think we are waiting for a quorum so that we can start our class. So be patient for 1 minute so that we can start. I'll start after 1 minute.
Great, thank you.
Welcome, Abigail. I think we have a quorum and we can now start our class. The rest can meet us along the way. Yes, Abigail, can you connect your headphone or mic so that you can start the class for now? Thank you. Abigail, if you can hear me, connect. All right. Today, I believe that all of you can hear me clearly. Actually, we were intending to have our classes from yesterday, but due to unavoidable circumstances and regarding to you, because whatever meeting we were asked to attend was actually affecting you in terms of looking at your marks and also planning on projects. And indeed, even today in morning, I was a bit in the entire morning, afternoon, I was a bit tied up in the project presentations. But I said I cannot go without having a class with you because I believe we need to do more. And that's why I had to excuse myself from the panel so that we can have a class. I want to start a class immediately. And today, our intention is to understand the use of variables in writing a program. Remember last week we had a session which we were able to understand the structure of C program, which is very simple. So today we want to look at how we can actually come up with a program that is using variables. And indeed, if you have a microphone, kindly ensure that you can always unmute and talk to me. That will be very okay. And if you are listening using your headphone, you can always chat on the public chat so that you can be able to. Yes, Mohammed, you have come in. Welcome. We are about to start the class. You are actually on time. Now, today, our intention at this particular moment, I want to engage your mind towards understanding how you can be able to comfortably write a program using variables. And at the end of this lesson, I would like you to be able to actually confirm that you have really understood. So kindly, I believe that you're in a good position whereby you're not going to be disturbed and we are going to start straight away. So to start with, I will first mention what is a variable. This term has always been coming in our learning. I remember in the previous lessons I mentioned about variables. I want to confirm to you this particular afternoon that there is no computer program, there is no application, even the mobile application you use, which does not use variables. Variables are building blocks to a program that can be given data and then compute it. And the variables always utilize the computer memory. I want to give you an example that when you use a calculator and you enter numbers in a calculator, those numbers are taken to the memory of that particular calculator. And then you press the equal sign and then you are given an answer. Indeed, for that computation to work out, variables must be used on the background without your knowledge so that they can be able to hold the numbers, and indeed at the end of the day you can see the result. To give you another example is your mobile phone. Whenever you press a number on a mobile phone and then you are calling somebody, those digits are placed in the memory of your phone. And then through a network, you're able to link and be able to talk to somebody. So what are we saying? Variables are very important in actually manipulating data within a program. So in short, and I believe you are somewhere writing because whatever I'm giving, it does not require so many stories so that you can understand. In short, variable is actually a memory location within a computer system. Remember, computer system can be even your mobile phone. That is very clear. And these variables are actually used by the program to be able to manipulate data and indeed to compute data or to calculate what you call numeric data. So from today henceforth, you should know that variables are actually used to define memory locations within a computer RAM. Now, for us to be able to use variables, class, they must be known. For example, when I call you Isaac, when I call you Kevin, Mohammed, Nur, Otieno, Shwani, you are able to respond using your name. The same case, variables when are used in a program, they must be given names. And those names are called variable identifiers. Like now we can say your name, you can be called the person identifier. I'm identified as Isaac. I'm identified as Kevin. I'm identified as Muhammad Nur. I'm identified as Otieno. I'm identified as Shwani. So when writing a program, you must be able to give your variables names. And the process of giving variable names is called variable declaration. Abigail, welcome. I can see you had a trouble in your microphone, and for your sake, I'll repeat. Kindly allow me to repeat so that she can be with us. We are talking about how to write a program using variables. And we have precisely said that the variables are actually used to define or to place or give memory locations within the computer memory. In other words, for a program to work, it has to have some memory locations. And what is the purpose of the memory location? They are used for manipulating data within the program. For example, we are saying that we can have a program that is going to compute numeric data. We can have variables in that program that will also be used in actually the manipulations. I've given an example of a calculator that when you press a calculator, the numbers are taken to the calculator memory, and those numbers are all in variables which are working in the background within the calculator. And you're able to say 1 plus 1, then you press the equal sign, and then you get an answer. You should know that there are variables working behind that. Then also, I gave an example of your mobile phone. When you press any number and you are calling, those number digits are placed in the computer, sorry, in your phone memory, and they are actually activated in your the phone memory using variables. So what are we saying here? That variables are very important in actually manipulating the memory where we use, where we can be able to use our system and compute data. Then we are saying that for these particular variables to be used, they must be given names. And the process of giving these variable names is called variable identification. And the noun or the name of variables that are in the program, they are generally referred to as variable identifiers. Like, for example, I've said people are known by their names. Like, for example, Abigail, if I call Abigail, you'll know you are the one. Isaac, you are the one. Kevin, you are the one. Otieno, you are the one. Sean, you are the one. The same case applies to actually when use variables within the program. So variables to be used in the program, they must be given names. And the process of giving the variable names is called variable declarations, or to declare. To declare. So basically, we are going to see how we can declare variables. And indeed, we are going to see how we can now be able to use them and be able to come up with a program. Class, I will not continue before I get a response from you that you have understood what we have just mentioned about variables. Kindly, for the essence of time, each and every person respond very fast. You can use your Mike, you can use the public chat and respond to us whether you have understood that as I proceed. Remember again, I said initially the other previous lessons that I'm going to treat you like children who are born in programming, and I'll be taking you slowly, and then I will be in your shoes to ensure that you reach Canon well. And the Canon here in this case is you become good programmers. Now, can we hear from all of you? Just chat. A simple sentence, because we are moving on well. We are technically okay. Remember, I want your innocency. Don't shy. Please, I want your innocency. Say that if you have not gotten a point, let us ensure that we don't have a blanket move. Yes, Mohammed is okay. You can see Mohammed has said yes, that's fine. And then Brian, yes, okay. Abigail is typing. She came late a bit, but I'm sure she's very okay. Kevin, very okay. Abigail, yes, good. I can see Mustafa is also typing something. Aha, Mustafa came in very late, but is very fine. Thank you. Swan, very okay. Now, let me proceed. You can see I've not even moved a hinge from the title of just the glance on the slide. I will proceed knowing that each and every person has understood at least that a variable is a memory location, and for it to be used, that location must be given a variable name, and the process of giving that location a variable name is called variable identification, and that is also referred to as variable declaration. Having said that, I want to proceed to now to see how we can come up with a simple program. And indeed, in this, I'd like you to relax and make sure that you have your mind in a good condition. Don't be disturbed. And the concept is very simple. And in programming, we like understanding, not cramming. And if you don't understand, please raise your hand as we proceed. So let's see how we can come up with a simple program that is going to enable us to actually see how we can come up with a program for adding two numbers and displaying it in C, programming in C. I believe that you are able to see the screen, all of you. One can confirm. I believe you're able to see the screen so that we can proceed. So in our book, if we have somewhere, yes, I would like you to write a simple statement, a program to demonstrate the use of variables. Program to demonstrate the use of variables. And after that, you simply say the program will add two numbers or integers and then display the result. The program will add two integers or numbers and then display the result. Two numbers and then display the result. That is the program we are about to unfold. So without wasting time, I would like to go direct to the program, and I will be very keen explaining the program slowly by slowly. So I believe you are seeing on the screen this statement here. This is not part of the code. It's just the name I gave the program. You can always be critical and creative. So this name can be used to save my file when I open a compiler. I know up to this moment you don't know how to open a compiler, but never mind. After you understand this syntax and be able to write a simple program on a book, then I'm going to show you how you can be able to compile your program and see whether it's working and giving you the right answers. Remember, in programming, as you start programming, you always have what you call errors. And these errors are very important. If you write a program and then you find you're not having an error, then you should know that you are either a genius or something is wrong. So we expect that when coming up as a new programmer, you must always make errors so that you can know which type of errors have you made. Like I will be talking about them. We have syntax error, we have what we call logical errors, we have what we call runtime errors, also we have what we call semantic errors. Never mind about those. Maybe I can shed light on syntax error. Syntax error is an error when you go against the grammatical rule of a particular programming language. Let's say, for example, you can make a syntax error in your mother tongue, pronouncing or writing a particular mother tongue name wrong. Same case applies to C. You can make a wrong statement in C, and indeed that becomes a syntax error in C. We will be looking at that. So let me start now explaining this program bit by bit, and I'll be very slow to ensure that you follow. Now this name is not part of the program, it's a name that I'm just placing there so that when you're going to save your file, your file on this particular program, you can use it for remembrance. So our program starts from where we have this particular slash, and then we have the asterisk, we have the backslash, and then asterisk, and then you can see we have another asterisk, and then we have another. This is the slash. The first slash is we can call it the backslash actually. The front slash, then we have asterisk, and then again you can see asterisk coming on the other side. Normally this one is called a comment. Inside here we can write anything which we want the programmer to know. Kindly note, this is a comment. Now we are saying add two integers and print the result. So the program, we are simply saying what the program will do. The question will come in, Malim, what is this comment for? This comment is meant for the programmer. And when the compiler gets this particular statement that are in between these slashes with the asterisk, it will not go through it. It will ignore this statement because it knows the statement belongs to a human being. And then it will start its compilation from our processor directive and header. So what is this processor directive? I want to say that channel include is a directive. And a directive, this directive is telling the compiler that before you compile this program, before you compile this particular program, please insert, bring into this program a file or an header file that is normally called standard input output.head. So std acronym stands for standard input output header. So people might wonder, Malim, what is this now? How can it help you? According to C programming, when the compiler is installed, there are several header files that are actually installed in the library of C. And the purpose of these header files is to give meaning to keywords that are normally used in the program. If the header files are missing, the compiler will get confused and will not know. And to be precise, the standard input output header file is responsible for giving the meaning for two major keywords or functions, and namely printf and scanf. Printf, which you can see here, and scanf. So if you omit this particular header file from your program and use printf, the compiler will get confused and it will give you an error that it does not understand the meaning of this particular printf. So this must be included. For it to be included, you use what you call a preprocessor directive, and the preprocessor directive is what we call channel include. It's like you are being commanded, go and do that. So the preprocessor directive, then after the preprocessor directive, you start the less than and the greater than operators. In between, you put the header file you want to be included in your file. Remember, there can be several header files as you proceed, but at the moment I'm introducing you to this particular header file that has been brought into this program by the processor channel include and is called standard input output dot add from a library of the compiler, so that to enable the compiler understand the meaning of the keyword printf and scanf when they are going to be used. Back again, input means this is a keyword that is going to enable us to actually take anything the user is going to enter from the screen into the computer memory, and this one is associated with the function scanf. Output, normally it's used to enable one to be able to actually enable the program to output anything to the screen of your computer, and actually this one is associated with what we call printf. I believe I'm clear with that point. Please again, very fast so that we save time, you can always say yes or okay on the public chat before I proceed. And remember, I really want to be very slow. Kindly confirm to me that you are doing well. And if there's nothing you have understood, I'll also want to know. Kindly confirm to me on the comment and the processor and header file whether you have understood the meaning for that. Kindly confirm. You can just public chat. Yes, that's okay. I have no problem with that. Good, Kevin. Otieno, yes, good. So that I'm not leaving anybody out. Kindly ensure that yes, Abigail, we save time. We save time. Okay, Osborne, yes. Isaac, yes. Mohammed, we are waiting for Isaac. Isaac has mentioned. So Mohammed will come on board. Maybe, yeah, is all right. Thank you. So let us proceed. As usual, again, we have our main function. And we said we shall repeat until you get this concept. The main function always marks the beginning of the execution of a program. And its syntax is int main with an opening and a closing bracket. Int main with an opening and a closing bracket. Then we always say that it's important that you know the function must have a body. And the body of the function is opened by the curly bracket, this curly bracket, and then closed within this curly bracket. You can see how you are going to open and close. And we are saying that inside the body of the function, that is where you place anything you want the program to do. Actually, program execution is carried inside the int main function, the main function of the program. Right. Next point, we are going to declare variables, and these variables will be known to the main function, and the declaration means the process of giving our variables names so that they can be used to be associated with the memory location which will be declared. So as I said initially, variables must be given names. In C, we have a format or we have a syntax on how variables are declared. Today, I'm introducing to you to only one particular type of variable called an integer. Variables always go alongside with what we call data types. And I would like you to know that the term data type is very important as far as variables are concerned. When declaring a variable, it's important to state what kind of data is it going to hold. Is it going to be used to all the numbers? Is it going to be used to all what we call decimal numbers? Is it going to be used to all what we call letters or names? And that process of giving us the specific type of data is what we call the data type. For example, we can declare a name like, let me check on this list, maybe if you can allow me with your permission. Abigail, she's a lady. Osborne, I don't know, I'm using, just following the list there. Osborne is a male. So Abigail, female, Osborne, male. So I am actually trying to declare them and I'm giving them data type. I'm using that analogy to make you understand. So today, I would like you to know that there are several data types, but for only today, I want you to understand the data type for holding numbers that don't have decimals is called int in C. Is called int. And then the procedure or the way of declaring variable in C, you start with the type of data type. Like now, int means this is integer. And then you put a space and decide now to give your variable a name. Like in this case, what we have done, I've said int, then I've given integer 1. There is no problem of joining these two words together. I am joining them together so that I can, when I'm going to use them in computing, they don't give me problems. It is proper and a good programming to have one word as your variable identifier, or you simply have a letter. And it's not good, sorry, it's not good to use two names. And if you have to use the two names, you must do what we call concatenations, which I'll be talking about later. But for today, it's important to know how to declare a variable. You put the data type, you put a space, and give the data type a name. Kindly, I would like you not to be static. We can change this variable here. This is what I decided to creatively and critically give. You can even say int number 1. So variables, identifiers, or variable names are given by the programmer. So you can decide which kind of name you are going to use when declaring variables, so long as they make a meaning. Use names that can make meanings. And again, when using variable, don't use keywords to declare variables, because they'll cause what you call a conflict when the program is going to run or get executed. So I'm declaring 3 variables that are going to all integers and whole numbers. One is called int integer. Then look at the syntax. You must terminate the statement with a semicolon. Int integer 2, terminate it with a semicolon. Int sum. So the sum, I'm going to use it for holding the computation of the two. Again, I terminate it with the so-called the semicolon. Very important. Kindly confirm to me that you have simply understood the declaration of a variable to hold numbers that are not decimal but whole numbers, and the procedure is int integer 1, integer 2, then int sum. Kindly confirm, and if you can confirm very fast, I will proceed. And if you have a question, please ask. All right, Sonia, Kevin, yes. Kevin, you have confirmed. And this one, Sonia, you have confirmed. Osborne, Isaac, Abigail, Tieno, kindly confirm. Confirm. Tieno, all right. Mohammed, yes. Okay. So was it not confirmed? I think we are good to go. Isaac, Isaac should confirm also. Even Abigail, that you're okay with this. Only one variable I'm talking, data type variable I'm talking about. All right, very good. So we are waiting for Isaac. Isaac, I believe you were with us. I think you are the first one to confirm. So after declaring variables, then this program will only run without user intervention. And why? Because the program has been assigned values, what we call, using a concept we normally call dynamic assignment. In other words, the variable that were declared within the program, now they have been assigned values using what we call an assignment operator. Like now we are saying integer 1 is going to be equal to 55. This is what we refer to as an assignment operator. Then again, we terminate with a semicolon. Then integer 2, is going to be equals to 63 also, and we assign integer 2 with this value. Then after assigning, we are going to actually be able to compute the result. We shall actually compute the result using the variable that we are declared up there, and they say sum equals to integer 1 plus integer 2. Note, this is very important. The way you wrote the variable, it must remain the same. You see, it's integer 1, it should be integer 1. You see, it's integer 2, it should be integer 2. And again, C is very case sensitive. If you write a variable in a capital letter, and then, for example, if the integer 1, I was in capital letter, and here you decide to use small letter, those are two different identifiers. So be very careful. If you have to write a program, you should write always, we encourage you write it in small letters. And indeed, the keyword in C are actually known in small letters. When you write them in capital letter, you find that you'll have an error because the compiler will always be complaining. Class, since I started all along, I've been using these two backslashes, and I have noted that you have not noted. This is used for what you call line commenting. When you only want to comment on only one line, you can use those single backslashes, double of them. You can use them, the front slashes, sorry. You can use them. Then, when you want a multiple statement, then you have to use this format which is up here. For when you want to write a statement which is going beyond one line, you can use that statement. It is actually advisable or recommended. Now, after computing the sum, we now display. Remember, our display is going to go to the screen of the computer. And we want that when this display is displayed, our user of the system will be able to see exactly the result. And here I would like you to be keen because I want to take some 1 minute explaining what is happening here, because this is what you will be doing when actually displaying the result. To start with, printf is a function in C, and its purpose is to display any statement which is in a quote and which is actually in a bracket and then in quotes, in bracket and as well as in quotes on the computer screen. So for you to display any information, you use the keyword printf, then immediately you open a bracket and then you open double quotes and then you write your communication. Like we are saying, the sum of two integers is, the sum of two integers is, I am reaching here. Before I proceed to this particular symbol you are seeing here and it's making you wonder, this is proper communication. From here to here, I can communicate in any language. I can write it in my mother tongue. If the program was to be used by a person who does not understand English, so you are not limited when using the printf. You can write, communicate well. You can see the sum of the two integers is, you can even write it in your mother tongue and then it will be displayed on the screen. Then there is this section that I really want you to understand. This area, very, very important. I will start with this. This is the percentage D. Only, leave alone the other part. I'm only talking about percentage D. This is called, we call it a format specifier. Format specifier. And then somebody can ask, Mwalim, what is that for? I would like you to know that in C, it is important when displaying to let the compiler know what kind of data type you are going to display. Like the percentage D is normally used to display numbers that are whole numbers. And it's a must, it must be included. And if you don't include it, you can get an error. The compiler will be complaining, I don't know the kind of data type I'm going to display. So we have different types of format specifier, but for this particular lesson, I want you to get this one because I don't want you to bombard you with a lot of different format specifiers, and then at the end of the day, you get confused. So I want you to know that when you want to display whole numbers, you simply use percentage %d, meaning that the result that is going to be displayed is going to be a whole number. Then after this, you can see, leave alone the full stop does not mean anything. There is this particular slash and the n, which is appearing here. The slash and n, the front slash and n. This one, we normally call it an escape sequence. It's normally referred to as an escape sequence. And the purpose of the escape sequence is normally used to move the cursor down one line, meaning that this statement will be displayed, and then the cursor, after displaying on the screen, the cursor will be below the statement. So this is just for formatting, and we have said it is an escape sequence. And front slash n. You should note that, very important, and is normally used to move the cursor downwards. Then this is where I want you to get. After you write your statement in your language, you must close it with double quotes. You must close it with double quotes. After closing it with the double quotes, you place a comma, and then you bring in the variable you use to compute your result. Like in this case, we had used the sum. So for us to display the sum, we have to have the statement for communication purposes. We specify the format specifier. We also give our escape sequence for taking the cursor down. Then we close with double quotes. Then we put a comma, and then now put the variable identifier we want to display, the one that we have used for our computation. Like now in this case, we have used sum. So sum is actually how it will be displaying a whole number. Then now we close our argument, and then we terminate our statement with this particular semicolon. This is how we can display value from the computer RAM, and communicating well and actually able to display. I am not leaving that statement until I get questions or you confirm to us that you have understood. All of you have gone silent. Kindly talk to me, chat with me, so that I can know whether we are doing fine. Chat with me. I will appreciate. Chat with me. And any question should be asked. Any question, please ask. I will actually welcome. Isaac, well understood. Yes, BCJ. Yes, we can hear you. Yes.
What is the function of backslash then n?
Okay, very well. What is the function of this particular backslash n? That's a good question. I want to repeat that for the entire class. Backslash n is one of the escape sequence. And its main purpose is to affect the cursor on the screen. I hope I'm not having the corona. I'm sorry. Its main purpose is to affect the cursor. The cursor is the blinking insertion point that normally blinks when you are seeing your screen. We have different types of escape sequences. Like now, if I can say \t, I am saying please insert a tab, tab, meaning that the cursor will be moved in front a bit. So this one, \n, will take the cursor. After this statement, the cursor will be blinking below the statement. So it's like pressing the enter key. I hope I'm clear on that, Mr. Procedure. Are we all right? Okay. Kevin, This is formula for all program. Very good question again. Brother Kevin and the entire class, formulas are different. In fact, I've introduced you to a most basic formula. The only thing I want to talk about in this particular formula, the entire formula, or rather the entire statement is called an assignment operator. In C, this is how we do. We are saying that kindly compute what is on your right. Like now, our computation is addition, and then after finishing it, assign it to the variable which is on your left. As simple as that. So we have several formulas that will be unfolding, Kevin, as we proceed running. Don't be worried. Brian, where is the answer displayed? A very good question. Brian, I mentioned that we are going to understand how we can use a compiler. After installing a compiler in your computer, you are going to type this code in your computer. In fact, the compiler is so user-friendly. It gives you an interface which has menu. Like if you want to start a new file, you click on File New, and then a window will open. Then you will type your program there. And then in that particular compiler, there is a section which you are going to click and then compile the program. And the process of compiling, you are trying to check whether the program is correct in terms of syntax. And then within that particular location, there is a command which is always referred to as run, R-U-N. Once you run, the program will run and it will display the result on the screen. So in short, you must, Brian, have a compiler in your computer. Am I clear? Brian, can you confirm whether you have understood that point? Okay, thank you. Now let's proceed. I am happy, but still this area, I would like you to be, you critically, even in your forum, we are going to look at it, analyze this statement further, because this is where the student get confused when they are displaying what the program has done. So it's important we get acquainted with this particular statement of printf and the syntax as it follows. I'll keep on repeating for the sake of your understanding. The next point is called return F0. This is always with us. Return 0 is a communication. This communication is indicating that this program has run successfully. And the communication is the program is the compiler will be able to communicate with the operating system, because remember, all programs, even if it's a compiler, even if it's a computer application program, must be controlled and coordinated by an operating system. Like in this case, we are talking about Windows. So in this case, we are saying return 0 in C programming tells the system that this program has done its work well and is successful. Now you can actually take back your resource. The resource here is the computer RAM space. Then finally, you must close the body of your function. The body of the function must be closed. So this curly bracket is closed up here. We open the opening curly bracket and then we use the closing curly bracket. Having said that, this program, after the programmer actually codes this program within a compiler editor and then runs the program will only give you one result. So this program is limited because we use what we call dynamic assignment. We dynamically assign values. We simply assign values that cannot when we are declared our variables. So somebody will ask, now if I want to have a program that can be able to ask a user to enter several values and they be able to get the result, should I be modifying this program? Class, it's not important. Then we need to make another program that is going to enable us to be able to be asking the user to enter different values, and the program is able to compute them as the user enters. Now that will be in the next slide I'm going to continue with. I'll give you just one break, and then we proceed of 1 minute, just 1 minute only. If somebody has just disappeared immediately, kindly don't leave the conference. Let us proceed. We want to understand on how now we can write a program that can be able to compute several results for the same. And actually, if you can see, I have displayed the program, but I want you to take a cup of water and then we can proceed. 1 minute only. Okay, 1 minute has elapsed. We can proceed. I think I'm good, and you're also good on the other side. We can proceed. So basically, this particular program has no much difference from the initial program that we have just done. So we are going to go through it very fast. But now we are introducing a section whereby the user is going to be asked to be able to input uh, be able to input values, and then we can take them to the computer memory. Again, I cannot stop, I cannot get that repeating everything for the sake of understanding. So again, this is now, I can see I have even put them in red so that you can see. This is called a multiple commenting when we want to have a statement that can have more than 2 lines. So we have this particular front slash, then a static followed by the static comes inside when actually we are starting the comment, and then it will be on the outside, and the other side it will be inside. So we are just communicating again here. Remember, we said this is not meant for the compiler. You are simply communicating to a human being, your fellow programmer. And then it's important for us to learn the skill of commenting our program. In fact, when you comment a program, let me say, not only for exam purposes, but still we normally use that. When you comment a program and write commenting, don't just comment, enables you to get a mark because the examiner is able to follow what you are doing. So it's important for programmers to be commenting. But again, do not comment your entire program. For this particular purpose, I am using almost every part commenting it because we are learning. And that's why I decided that I must comment for the purpose of us to understand. Okay, the next statement is our channel include, and we include our header file. Then we start our main function with int main. Then again with the opening and the curly bracket. Then again we start our body of the body of our main function with the opening curly bracket. Then here I've decided to change the way we can declare. You don't need to use several lines. If you have what we call variables that are going to be variable identifiers that are going to be of the same type, kindly you can put them in this one line separated by a comma until the last one. Like now you can see we have said int integer comma, int integer 1 comma, int integer 2 comma, sum comma, and then we simply terminate the statement. So here we save what we call time, we save the space, and also we actually format our program to be more clear to us, and it looks more presentable. Now the next statement is we have the function printf, which is for outputting. Then we are simply saying this time, and we are opening a bracket, and we're asking the user enter the first integer. So this message will be displayed on the screen of the computer, and when the user uses the keyboard and types that particular value, the value must be taken to the computer RAM and to the specific variable identifier that was declared initially. So for us to achieve this, or for the computer or the programmer or the compiler to achieve that, it uses a function called scanf. Scanf is meaning is on what we call input here. So the header file has the meaning for that. And when the scanf comes, the compiler will know that I am supposed to take what the user has entered on the keyboard and place it in the computer memory location and specifically to a particular variable. So how is the process done? You simply say scanf, you open a bracket, and immediately you open a bracket, you state what we call the format specifier. What kind of data is this integer, or sorry, this variable is going to hold? If it's only numbers, then this is the syntax. You open a double quotes, %d, close the double quotes, open the double quotes, %d, close the double quotes, and then you must put as a comma, and then after that you use what we call, this is actually the and sign. And I want to use the technical term, which is right. You concatenate, you join, you concatenate, you join the variable that was declared initially, the variable identifier that was declared initially, with the memory location which you are actually sending this particular value to. So this is used for concatenating or joining joining the variable identifier with the memory location. Now this will enable us, or enable the program to be able to take any value you are going to enter to that particular identifier in that particular memory location using this particular procedure. Again, I repeat, scanf, you state the format specifier, which must start with a double quote, %d for all numbers, comma, then concatenate the integer you are going to use with. And this sign is normally used for concatenation, the undersign, and then you close the bracket, and then you have your semicolon. Again, you ask for the second value, which is in this case print enter the second value, and then again you terminate. Again, scanf, you put in double quotes the format specifier, comma, concatenate it or link it or join it with a variable that is going to hold in the computer RAM, in this case this one here. Then you put the semicolon. Then after that you compute your result. Maybe I stop there before I talk about the other part, because I'd already talked about it, but let me and get on this area whether you have followed clearly. And please, I beg you to understand this area is going to be used forever as we proceed learning our programming concept. So allow me to hear your sentiments. Don't fear, don't worry. Ensure that you can speak your mind out, because we are learning, and our happiness will be that all of us have understood and all of us are moving on well. I can see Kevin typing, and the rest I can see Otieno typing. Very well, I will repeat. Very well, I will repeat. Otieno, first everybody to give all your so that we can proceed. All of you, kindly. Yes. Swan, yes. Very good. Another point. I've noted what if you don't comment at all. And the rest, like Abigail, Osborne, Ian, Ibrahim, Isaac, Muhammad. And Swan. Understood. Okay. All right. Before I proceed, Isaac, I'm sure that yeah, kindly I really want to. I will. Well understood. Okay, fine. Yes, Prime. Now I want to repeat. Jan is typing something. All right. Now, for the sake of the rest, some right. I would like to pardon all of this. I will start again on this area. Now, you are communicating to the use of the program. This use of the program can be me, the programmer, you, the programmer, or somebody who has never done programming before, but has gotten the program to use. So we want him or her to enter marks, or sorry, to enter the first integer that we want to work with. So we shall have our function printf. After having our function printf, we open our bracket, then we open double quotes, and we ask him or her to enter the first integer, and then we close double quotes, we close the bracket, and then we stop. So after the user has entered the value, assuming you are the one, after you enter the value, for example, 10 or 20, that particular value is supposed to be taken to the computer memory of your computer. And it's not supposed to be taken to that computer memory. It has to be in a specific location. And that specific location is going to be associated with a variable you had declared initially. Like in this case, integer 1 has been declared. And integer 1 is going to be used to old. So we proceed. For us to achieve that, we use a keyword called scanf. For your information, scanf will take anything the user has entered on the screen from the keyboard and take it to the computer memory. And when it takes it to the computer memory, it has to be taken to a specific key memory location, which is actually a variable location. And this to be achieved, the variable location has a variable identifier. And for us to be able to get that location, we use what we call concatenation. The undersign is going to join this particular variable identifier with the variable location in the RAM. So we open scanf and then open a bracket, then have our double quote, then %d, this is what we said initially is a format specifier, and this one is telling the compiler that please, what is going to be taken in is a whole number, not a decimal number. Then you close the syntax, you close, then you put a comma, then now you concatenate your variable with identifier with the memory location using the undersign and then the variable identifier name, then you close the bracket, then you close the statement. You are saying you are taking what the user has entered into the computer RAM. Printf, again, for the second, enter the second integer. Again, the procedure, this one I'm believing you have understood it. Again, we get our scanf to get what the user is going to enter. We tell the compiler what kind of value which is going to be entered is a whole number. So again, we take our format specifier %d in double quotes, we put a comma, concatenate, link the variable identifier integer 2 with the variable location. So we use this particular underside the computer RAM. I believe I'm clear. I believe Otieno, sorry, I believe the question was from Kevin. Kevin, please, can you confirm that you are okay now? Kindly confirm. All right. Kevin, all right. Right. Let's proceed. Now, there was another question on Otieno Brian. Brian was asking, what if you don't comment at all? Class comments are meant for human beings. And if you remove all the comments, there will be no problem. The compiler will work with the program. But now the problem will be if a non-user gets your program, or a non-programmer, sorry, somebody who is a lay person will never understand that program. Or even another programmer who is not programming in C, yet the program without documentation, he or she will never understand it. So it's important, and a good programming way we normally call it approach that you always comment, but not always, not all statements. So there's nothing. The program will still run successfully, but again, it will be lacking documentation. I believe, Brian, you're okay with that. Okay, confirm, and the rest, you have learned something. All right, thank you. Now, Osborne is asked, where is the value entered in printf after the colon? Where is the value entered in printf? Very well. Again, Osborne, I want to repeat that when you open the compiler, and the key in or the statements, and when the printf is encountered, the statement in the brackets in quotes will be displayed on the screen of that particular compiler, and it will be looking as enter the first integer with the full colon. Then there will be no brackets. These brackets will not be there. This double quotes will not be there, and this bracket will not be there. Even the semicolon will not be there. So you will just get this statement, and then the value will be entered just immediately after that. Okay, fine, thank you. Now again, after now getting the values, we are going to actually compute our result of sum using the assignment operator, whereby we shall use this variable declared here. Then we say sum equals to integer 1 plus integer 2, and these are going to be taken from the computer memory. They will be able to be taken from the computer memory, and then they will be able to be, after adding, they will be assigned to this particular variable identifier on the left. And hence that's why we call it an assignment operator, meaning that please compute what is on right. After finishing the computation, take the result and assign it to the variable on the left, and indeed at the end of the day you will get the value. Then again, we said our program must display our result, so we shall again use printf for displaying. And now we want to display what has been computed and lying in the computer RAM. Remember again, I would like you not to confuse between scanf and the printf. It's important to note that there is a major difference. There is a major difference between printf and scanf. So how do we display? The display is very simple. Again, printf, then open the bracket, and then again open the double quotes, and then give your statement. You are now communicating your output to the user or somebody who's interested to see the result. The sum of, you can see here, I was supposed to say the sum of two integers. So you can see I even omitted that statement. So inside there, you are supposed to communicate well. You don't leave anything hanging. So we could have been saying the sum of two integers is, the sum of two integers is, then again we put a space, and then we must specify the type of values we are getting. Are we getting a whole number? Are we getting a decimal number? For today, I'm dealing with whole numbers so that I don't want to confuse you. Then if you are dealing with whole numbers, kindly use what you call the percentage D. Use the percentage D. Then after that, put a space, and also take the cursor down. Like at this moment, the the \n is, I said initially, is an escape sequence, and its main purpose is to take the cursor downwards, and then you close this communication point. You close it with a semicolon. Then for you to output, you must put a comma. Then bring in the variable you use for computing. Bring in the value you used for computing, and then you close the bracket and you terminate the statement. This is how you display values from the computer RAM. Then the program will encounter return 0, and indeed this program will mean that it has run successfully, and the program will actually be able to terminate after encountering the closing bracket. I can see Brian as a question. Remember, in the first slide, you entered the values of the integers, and these two you have entered them. Well, very good question, Brian. Brian, I want to go back to that slide for that you can understand. I am there. I'm back there. Very well. This particular program, when you write it and compile it and run it, and I hope those terms are okay. Compiling is the process of looking for errors. Running is the process of executing the program and asking the program to do what it's supposed to do or the work you have given it. So in this particular program, I was just trying to show you that you can simply give your variables values. You can give your variables. Wanjiko, you have just come. Welcome. Although you're even almost ending the class, but even coming in, that's very good of you. We are happy. We will see what to do to you as we proceed. So Brian and the rest, I am Ibrahim. Yes, welcome. Also, I can see you are typing. Okay, Ibrahim. Okay, as I'm answering this question, which is I'm believing that all of us will get. Brian was asking why we use this. This is an example that is actually limited. That when you run this program, the program will take the integer which has been given 55 here, and then it will also take 66 and compute and give you the result. This program cannot give you a chance to actually enter another value. In fact, it's not even giving you any chance to enter anything. So this program is very limited. This program was used to bring into your mind the understanding. And after understanding, we moved on to a program that is now better, that can ask you to enter values. There is no system in this world that you can be able to use and you cannot interact with it. The system that is okay, it has to ask you questions and wait for responses. So in this case, the next program, we changed from the basic program, and then we decided that let us enable our program to ask us, the user, to enter values. And then we use printf for asking, and then we use scanf for inputting the values. Like now, when you enter 10 on this statement, enter first name, and you press enter key, this is scanf will take that value in the computer memory and specifically that particular variable that is being used. So I believe I'm okay with the Brian. Brian, have you understood before I proceed? Brian, I will want to get and also the rest. All right, good. Now the next question I can see on the public chat. I got in class earlier, but anyway, here is my question. All right, must you use the assignment operator while assigning variables? Must you use the assignment operator? All right. Kindly, this is what I would like to mention. This particular equal sign is used for assigning. And assigning means let me take this particular book and give it to Ongangi. So we are saying after any computation or any calculation, if need arises, you can use one variable to all the result and present it to all the result and present it in a form of a folder. But it's not a must. In fact, we can even be able to write a program whereby you only have to do the computation and display the way it is without actually using the assignment operator. So this was Ongang asking, so you can go either. Since you are just new programmers, I'm taking you step by step. I don't want to complicate it, give you complicated kind of approach. As we proceed, we are going to look at that, how you can have the result. Like now you can have integer 1 plus integer. Instead of sum here, we write integer 1 plus integer 2, and it's okay. I hope Ibrahim have answered your question well. Please confirm. Ibrahim, I'm waiting for your confirmation so that I can proceed to the next question. And the rest actually I've understood from that level. Okay, thank you. Can we, Kevin is asking, can we be given more than 2 integers? Yes, my brother. In fact, a serious program can have more than 100 variables. For example, you will be writing your systems. You will be writing your systems. I want to ascertain to you that a full system has more than 500 variables. So a program can be used like the one I'd given you on the public chat. Sorry, the one that I'd given you, on KPLC. You will be using more than 10 variables. And I remember giving you that program, and I realized that it was not okay. We were first to start this way. So you can use so many variables to write a program. I believe that is very okay. Kevin, we are starting slowly, and then we shall move on to bigger programs as we continue. I hope I'm clear on that, Kevin. Please confirm. All right, Kevin is typing. All right, now for the sake of time, and indeed where I am, I'm limited for time. Around 4 I should be leaving. I also had to take care of you because I know most of you are complaining about bundles. My intention today was actually to see from my side, use the kind of analysis to see whether we are understanding. Because it is pointless for me to be continuing teaching, learning. We are learning and then we are not understanding. And I don't want to give you, bombard you with so many information, so many. You can agree with us that this programming requires a lot of explanation. You can read books, but at the end of the day, you are not getting. And in programming, you simply use, as a learner, you take a small piece of program, you understand it, you do it, and then when you are satisfied, you do it, you get another example, you try, then you are comfortable, you have done it well, then now you move on to the next level. And this is our approach globally, not only in Kenya, wherever we are as programmers. This is how we start. Even the biggest system in the world started from that level. So my Apple programmers, I would like us to, if there's no more question, I would like you to write that program down. And this program, I will challenge you, kindly take your time from now until it's 8 in the evening, and after writing on a paper, you can scan it and then you upload it in WhatsApp in our group and see what you have done. Be creative enough, be very creative on writing it. Use your own variable. Like the program is very simple. I've put it in a very simple way that it's going to ask you to enter 2 units and then compute the result and display. So I would like to see how creative you are on your paper. Then from there we are going to proceed as we continue. If there is no any question, and indeed if there's no any question, I would like to stop at this particular level. Then we shall meet in the evening during our chat. I'll chat with you from 8 at night to see how you're following on. Then we will be organizing. I'm sorry that on Thursday, this day has been very hectic. Like today, we had a project presentation from morning up to noon. Then I left the meeting, left them actually deliberating on the project presentations, because I said I must have a class, and I really said I have to leave. So we are not going to lose hope. It seems that they know that this day is free and they always have to put some things there, but we will not lose hope. We'll still have to continue. Otherwise, for now, I believe I've done justice to you. Kindly confirm to me that all of you, by 8, you are going to submit to me this particular program on WhatsApp. Be creative. I will really appreciate. Yes, I can see Osborne is typing. Oh, Ibrahim, what if you just use a compiler instead of? Okay, fine. I have no problem, Ibrahim, but still I have not reached a level of showing how you can use your compiler. Soon I'll be doing that. Actually, hopefully next lesson I'll do that, because I have to enable each and every learner to know how to start up a compiler and compile the program. And if you can do it, no problem. But never mind for the rest. I am taking care of you, because I know most of you are using your phone. You don't even have a computer, which is okay, you're students. But we shall soon be on board. And in fact, we always say this: a program normally runs in somebody's head. After running in the head, the program is put on a paper. After putting it on a paper, then you open the computer to open the compiler and confirm whether what you have written is right. I believe that is very okay. So never mind, we shall be moving to that level. Some of us, we have another class at 5. No problem, brother. 5 to this is, oh, Shwan is a makeshift. Is this an impromptu class? I know most of the lecturers were not, they were in presentation, so I'm sure you must have missed so many classes today. Shwani. It's okay, Osborne. Don't worry. I've noted you. In fact, initially I noted you. So don't worry. You can be exempted from this, and we shall be linking up and talking to you as we proceed. Don't worry about that. That's very okay. We will get back to you. We'll link up, and then also make sure you are in the group so that we can be discussing these together. All right, you have a class, and so can we say that we present the program tomorrow? Can that be okay? Swan, yes. Abigail, Osborne, Ian, Ibrahim, Isaac, Kevin, Otieno, Swan, and Wanjiko confirm that you can we can be able to have it tomorrow. Yes, okay, I can see that is okay. Okay. All right, okay, I can see all of us we are confirming. All right. Yes, we shall see on that. The class can be a bit tricky. Whether we can be having time in the morning. If you can have time in the morning, we'll discuss that later and see whether we can have another class. Hey, Vincent, you're coming in when we are just about to end. Good. In fact, that's very good of you. Yeah, for the class register. Now, members, you are actually 28 members in the class. Where are the rest? Are they locked out of the system? Ryan, are they locked out of the system? Quite unfortunate. I'm sorry for that. Hopefully, we shall get them on board, God willing. This COVID-19 has really taken us back. Okay, Vincent, welcome. Yeah, Kevin also. I understand, Kevin. So Vincent, we are just finishing the class, but you make sure you download the notes. You can engage me in WhatsApp. so that we can move on well later in the evening. For now, I am supposed to go back to the meeting to finalize on your marks, those who are presenting, and kindly, I also need to get your feedback whether we are learning well. I believe I'm using the best method or the best approach, because I don't want a scenario whereby I am teaching you like a theory lesson, that I give you notes, you read notes that you will never understand, and then you come and memorize and then bring them on the exam. That one is not programming. That one is actually a theory unit. So I don't know whether we continue with this approach. Kindly, can each and every person to confirm on the chat? All right, Osborne. Okay, continue with this approach. Okay, kindly. All right, kindly. I am very democratic. All of us. Let's confirm. All right, Abigail is okay. Abura is okay. Besia okay. Muli is okay. Okay, Brian. All right, Ogangi. Wanjiko also. Okay, we shall continue. So, Vincent, even Wanjiko, you came late to class. Make sure you can engage me in WhatsApp for any elaboration. Thank you for your time, and please stay safe. And God loves you all. We shall meet next time, God willing. Bye for now. And with your permission, allow me to add to that meeting that is ongoing. Thank you. God bless you. Yes, I'm ending the meeting. So I wish you well. Bye for now. All right.